Now, Phil, our rising juniors, right? All these guys are going to be in the contact period very soon. The majority of them are already in the contact period where college coaches are reaching out to their top prospects. Junior year is where it all happens, right? Junior year is not when recruiting starts. If you are behind the times of the junior, you got a lot of catching up to do. So what should our juniors be thinking about at this point in the recruiting process?
Danny, I think you prefaced it right on the nail. It is go time if you're a rising junior, technically a junior now, 2023 prospect. Okay, if you step foot into, classes, come up this fall and you're a junior, right now is go time. First off, as we enter June or the rest of June and the rest of summer, we have to take into account there are absolutely just an explosion of college camps right now. Okay, just an explosion because we didn't have a whole lot last year. So do your due diligence, do some research, figure out what's going to be best for you, whether it's near or far, figure out whether it's an exposure camp, maybe a developmental camp, but find a couple camp opportunities to get out to. We haven't had this in the last year, so find some opportunities for you to get out to a camp, be face-to-face with some college coaches, let them see you in person, and even give yourself the opportunity to see where you stack up against, other athletes similar to you in the same grad class, playing the same sport, looking to achieve the same goal. This is that time period now with that explosion of camps this summer to figure out something that you can go to where it can be very effective for you as a student athlete and very beneficial. Now, in the same aspect of this being very important in terms of juniors, that 2023 prospect class, this being a very big year, we got to be on top of our game. Okay, we have to be knowledgeable on the NCAA recruiting guidelines. We have to be knowledgeable on the Division II and Division I calendars as it pertains to certain sports. We have to be knowledgeable at this time. Because Danny, as you prefaced, we just passed June 15th, where most college coaches, for most student athletes, can now go ahead and reach out to you directly and be proactive. And again, guess what? June 15th, that wasn't a time period where college coaches were just pulling names out of hats. They were actually following up with student athletes who've been proactive for the last couple of years. Okay, and there's another aspect to that as well when it comes to September 1st, for the rest of college coaches to be able to reach out and evaluate. Danny, this is a time where, again, if we're a junior, if we're in that 2023 prospect class, it's all hands on deck.
Yeah, I mean, you're a sophomore, right? A rising junior. You're part of that junior class now, and it's open season for the very vast majority of coaches. I had a conversation with a parent just the other day, and his son is a high-level tennis player, and he's going to be a junior next year, and he's ready to start to see interest from Division I coaches. So first and foremost, I applauded Dad for getting started early, that they had been on the radar for these coaches, and they've taken some pretty intentional steps to make sure that their information is in front of the right coaches. And to their credit, they started hearing from Division I coaches on the day that they were able to be reached out to. But Dad had contacted me despite hearing from Division I coaches when they were supposed to, basically said, we don't know what we should be doing next. When should I email a coach? Should I be pestering them? Do we follow up? Do I need to be proactive? And this is basically what I told him. I said, your goal now that you're in the contact period first is to get on the phone with that coach. For me as a recruiting coordinator, a couple different Division I programs, like that was my goal initially. When I'm trying to get an athlete interested in what I'm doing, I'm trying to get them on the phone, because in two ways, going in both directions, that is a level of commitment to that school, right? I'm not talking about verbal commitments. I'm just saying that coach is trying to reach out to a lot of kids and they're just trying to figure out who's interested. So for you, if you're that kid that's been reaching out to coaches, you're starting to hear back from college coaches now that you're a rising junior in the contact period, your goal should be to get on the phone with that coach, because not only does that show your interest in that program and saying, hey, I have questions here, when can we talk? But if that coach is willing to make that commitment to you after, a 12-hour workday and they've been coaching all day and they've been on campus, to take some time out of their evening to pick up the phone and schedule some time with you is a commitment from that coach to a level saying, hey, we are interested and I am going to spend some time with you. So for that dad, for that family that's taken steps forward and starting to hear from coaches, yes, your next step now that you're a junior is to get on the phone with coaches at your top schools of interest. The next step beyond that, visit campus. Right, through those conversations, through over the phone and getting to know more about that school and that program, you're inevitably going to cross some schools off. You're not visiting all the schools that are on your target list, But you want to get to a place where you've had these conversations with coaches and they are inviting you to their campus, whether that's for a fall, junior visit day. Some schools have an official junior visit day. Some have just things scheduled over spring break, just likely times where they're going to get athletes to campus and be able to kind of showcase the school and showcase the athletic department. Whatever those dates are for that school, your goal, if you're having good conversations with those coaches, and those coaches are interested, you're trying to get on campus. Because invariably, any campus you go to, no matter what you think they are on the internet, they always present in a certain way. And that may or may not jive with a certain student athlete, right? So visiting that campus is really going to be your time to meet the coach, meet the team, get to know the athletic department, maybe take a tour campus, meet with somebody in the academic side of things, hopefully somebody in your major. And that's going to be a really telling way for you to make a good decision if you want to end up at that school and kind of go through the process talking to that coach about earning a roster spot. So for our juniors right now, it really is go time. You do need to be on the phone with coaches at your top schools of interest, learning more about that program, learning more about that coach and their team and their philosophy, with basically in the back of your mind, you're trying to figure out, is this a school that I want to visit in person? And that's going to be a big benchmark for most of our student athletes out there that are going into their junior year, and something they absolutely have to be thinking about.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Click the logo to subscribe to our channel and watch the other videos for all things recruiting.